Joining us right now is Dr. Kristen England, an infectious disease specialist at the Cleveland Clinic. Good morning to you. So how is this treatment different than the vaccine?
Well, good morning. So vaccines are produced so that we are able to make antibodies in our own body against the vaccine, whatever is in the vaccine. So a monoclonal antibody is a synthetic protein that is produced to basically mimic the antibody that we make in our own body. So instead of your body developing your own antibodies, we're giving you an antibody or two that have been produced in the lab. In the version of Regeneron's REGEN-COV, it is two separate monoclonal antibodies that have been produced. So they need to be given through an infusion or subcutaneously.
Okay, you just used a lot of big words, and while I did enter the spelling bees as a child, for all of those of us who don't know what monoclonal antibodies are, can you talk a little bit about that in layman terms?
Absolutely. So basically, in our own bodies, we make a certain protein called an antibody whenever we see something that is foreign in our body. So our body produces that so that it can attach or bind to that foreign material and then carry it away. In response to either an infection or a vaccine, we typically will make a number of different types or versions or different types of proteins. In a monoclonal antibody, mono meaning single, clone of a single strand or clone, you're simply being given one version of an antibody so that you can respond very specifically to that antibody that is given or to that protein that is given to you.
Thank you.
In Regeneron's version, they are giving you two separate antibodies.
And this is actually proving to provide long-lasting immunity in some patients. At least the research is very promising, correct?
That is correct. It certainly looks like you can get up to 8 months worth of protection against an infection. Now, very clearly, they're stating in their press release that this is not meant to replace vaccines. This is simply another tool in our toolkit so that we can use this right now, it looks like, in patients who may not respond well to the vaccination itself, if they're immunocompromised in some way.
So this is really for those who have the weakest immune systems.
Absolutely. So if they're not going to respond as we expect or would hope that they would to the vaccine, then we want to be able to give them some extra, an extra bit of antibodies so that they can be protected.
I know the science is very early on all of this, but Dr. England, do you see any kind of data that points to the fact that we'll soon have some type of treatment that will replace the vaccine that can be taken orally, like these antibody cocktails?
Well, we certainly use monoclonal antibodies in a number of different disease states. So they're being used for arthritis. You can see them for Crohn's disease. So we're using a lot of different versions of monoclonal antibodies in a lot of different states. So it's certainly possible that this is, again, another tool in the future that we may be able to use, whether it be separate from vaccine or at least in addition to vaccine, so that we can get less people getting sick from COVID.
All right, Dr. England, thank you for your time and thank you for the science lesson. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.